What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Base Damage. I hope you are all doing well, and today we're going to be going over the last SpringFest regional that happened, which was in France. It was a little bit of a ways out from the last one that had occurred, because we didn't have any in July, basically. The Australia one was at the tail end of June, which, is understandable. They had to push it out, and France was also subject to the new ban list update, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong on that, future me will correct. But I wanted to, in this video, go over, obviously, who won France, and give a little bit of a recap on that, but also to give an overall recap of my impressions of the entirety of SpringFest. Also, apologies if I sound a little bit more quiet. It's kind of late at night, and I don't want to be yelling like I usually do, because people are trying to sleep. So, having to be a little bit quieter. Apologies on that one, but have to do what I have to do. So, let's get looking into it, obviously. So, if I mispronounce this, I apologize. Mova, I think, is how it's pronounced. If I did well, awesome. If not, I apologize to all of the French people. Even the Canadian French. Ended up having 18 teams. So times 3 is 54 players had showed up, which is really cool. So yeah, I already see something interesting. I wonder if they followed the rules here, because this may answer my future statement, or my statement previously of the ban list hits and everything. We have multiple here. To go ahead and state for France, though, there was only one thing that wasn't allowed on the Weiss side, which was Ayakashi Triangle, but that was because of a recency thing, not so much a distribution thing, to my understanding. Because it literally dropped like the weekend before. So, kind of can't help that one. So the first place team was Slime with Pantsmuron, very understandable. Itsuki Yotsuba quintuplets here. I actually want to see what build this was. And Elizabeth Hendrickson, which has been popping up quite a bit for Seven Deadly Sins, which, honestly, I'm kind of liking it. Like, the builds that I've seen, it feels a lot more budget-friendly as opposed to, which, understandably so, because the Escanor was, super, powerful, so I can understand the price tag that it had. But the Hendrickson, at least before it got used a whole bunch, was on the cheaper side. So it feels like it's more budget friendly as opposed to some of the other decks. So it's utilizing. Let's see. It's still kind of loading, but the level 1. Okay, so it primarily focuses on the Yotsuba combos. But it includes the Itsuki level 3 finisher. Interesting. Honestly, kind of an interesting build. I don't think I've really seen this kind of build pop up. Most of the builds that have aired, but have shown up recently, at least for SpringFest, have been mostly like the mono Itsuki decks, which is kind of understandable, like just very powerful level 1 engine and everything. But also, I think I did see Ichika a couple times, but Itsuki was the predominant one from what I remember seeing. So really cool there. So hey, shout outs to you. You got first place, obviously. BTR. I actually, for the life of me, cannot figure out what the hell that means. Neither do I know what SS is. I just can't think of what that, unless it's supposed to be like Seven Deadly or something. I don't know. Oh, Bochi. Okay, so Bochi the Rock. Okay. So that actually happened. That'll be really cool to take a look at in a second here. And what the hell was the other? Oh, Shakugan no Shana. Topped. That's actually really cool. I kind of expected to see this pop up a good bit. So that's really cool. And Overlord 8 bar. Very understandable. So while those are still loading, we are also going to go down here. We have quite a bit of, so 1, 2, 3, 4 representations for Bochi, all of which kind of going some combination of door and bar, whether it's like split between the door and bar or just like an even split. Very nice there. So, but we are going to fact check and see if the appropriate hits got done, because the Gura should only be 2 copies. As that's loading up, let's take a look real quick at Bochi. So the level 1 Bochi, so it is salvage gold bar. So the Bochi was this, which is this is literally Eat Ski. Like, this is literally the level 1 Eat Ski I was talking about before for the other quintuplets. Like, this is literally that. And then this is, like, literally Hololive modding. So, really cool. The Shana was this level 3 for the finisher with Tempa Josai. You either get to, like, stand this, choose up to 3 characters in your waiting room, return them to... Okay. Kind of crazy on a couple of these effects. And then the level 1 was this Shana. The I Can Do Anything combo. Okay. So... Which I believe that one's like with the I Could Do Anything. Yeah, it's a +2 soul combo. So that's actually kind of crazy. So did you... Yeah, okay, so only 2 Aki. And basically, there's 2 particular Himinos at level 0 that they can't run together. But they basically just tried to play around it using this Chainsaw Man as like the other off finisher, basically. Just trying to go for as much as they could. So they did still run the Climax combo one, but not the other levels, not the other level 0 Himino. I'm fairly certain this is one of them. So... really cool there. So they basically still did the 4-4 split. They didn't try to, like, do any other crazy combos or anything. Okay. And only 2 Gura and yeah, and running the Kali combo. Okay, so they kept it obviously within the rules. So yes, the ban list was definitely in effect for this. So let's continue on down. Toph and Aang for I didn't even think about this for Atla, where Sokka got banned for Avatar: The Last Airbender. So you have 2 of the decks that got hit are still top, or 2 of the sets that got hit are still topping. Oh, my head was covering that the entire time. I just so happened to look over and see that. I'm a dummy. Let's see. Okay, so they're basically doing a master of all elements finisher, obviously with the level 1 Toph. So, okay, typical, really fun, really good, but typical master of all elements build setup here. Okay. And we do have a Chainsaw Man 8 choice. Always fun, representing... one of the reasons this is going to be really cool, and I hope we'll see more representation, is I'm going to have this out, and shortly after this comes out, later this week, we're going to have a podcast episode come out with 2 members of the Discord that went to White Plains. It just took us forever to schedule the actual like recording and everything, so yeah, the Power and the Chainsaw Man. So very cool. Very fun. Oh, actually see this one being run is kind of cool too. So one of the guys was actually running 8 choice, and that was back in for White Plains was back in May. So nothing else really super stands out to me. Like I said, we have a fairly nice representation of Bocchi the Rock going across the board. But when you have basically the best level 1 combo from quintuplets and one of the best finishers from Hololive, both that can be used in the same deck, it's kind of ridiculous. So LRC is Lycanus Recoil, a standby choice build. I actually do want to take a quick look at that. And then we will go into my overall thoughts of just SpringFest in general, because a lot happened for this SpringFest. So anyway, let's check it out. So, what did it say? Choice bar, not choice bar. I'm sorry, standby choice. Okay. So the standby was the level 1 Chisato, which this is crazy because one of the combos is when you have the standby, this gets the standby in all zones, so it can become that as well, which is really cool. And this is on an uncommon. This is actually really good. So, and then the choice is with this level 3, it looks like. It's a -3 soul combo, which is a little bit more understanding with standby, being able to get it out at like level 2 and whatnot. So I haven't played any of Lycus Recall. I haven't played against it. I haven't played with it. I don't know how efficient the deck would be in running, but I might throw this together into the simulator and see and test it out a little bit. I kind of want to get a feel for it. But yeah, so that is going to be France. Congrats to everyone who topped and did well. Just really, really cool. I'm glad about not seeing Himeno Aki like every single team. And even the Himeno Aki that showed up showed that you can still run the deck with it being hit the way that it did. I don't know with it being teams if it was a instance of they got carried or anything of that nature, but the fact that we also have another deck that got hit really hard also still topped. So I mean, I don't know. The basically the two decks that got nerfed the most had to play against each other as well, so that's kind of hilarious to me. But no, that's really cool. So let's just zoom back up top here. So before I get into this, obviously, I did want to say that Joe and I are going to be trying to go to two of the different regionals for Fall Fest. We're going to be trying to go to Duluth, and we're going to be trying to go to Tampa. We have hotels booked and stuff, but in case something comes up, crap happens, just saying, like we're going to try our best to be able to do so, because we have other stuff planned, meeting up with friends, meeting up, going and doing other activities, and just having a really fun time at each of those locations. But regardless, we do hope to have fun, and I'm going to be trying to extensively test out a couple decks, try to figure out what the hell I want to run over the course of the next couple months here. Because even Duluth isn't until November, so I have a ways out. But that is going to be Fall Fest, so SpringFest. This was a very interesting SpringFest. I'm just going to be kind of scrolling across, just to kind of give it like kind of one last hurrah, so to speak. I'm probably going to have to scoot my avatar back over once we get further down. Like I said, seeing Himeno Aki just being so absolutely predominant, which is kind of a weird thing, because for the sets that for the areas that you could run the Chainsaw Man set, you definitely saw it. You saw a lot of it, and the only one that you couldn't really do that was the very last one of the year, which was a month and a half gap from the Australia one, the last one in the end of June, a month and a half difference before the next one could hit. So I don't know if there was like a scheduling conflict that happened in France and they had to like push it out or something. I swear it was scheduled for earlier and they just had to like push it later or something. I don't know. But that is a little bit weird. The thing that stood out to me the most for this SpringFest for 2024 was definitely the stuff that went down with Bulgaria, where Bulgaria had so many sets restricted that you just were not able to like nobody showed up. Very, very few people showed up, but I was also glad to be able to speak with the people who did go and try to get kind of like the perspective of the people who actually did go there and actually did participate, as opposed to just listening to hearsay and listening to other people going, oh, well, that's how it always happens. Oh, okay, cool, but you weren't there. The people who were there, the people who were able to actually give some good insight and everything, as opposed to people who just go based off of hearsay. I was very glad to be able to speak with them. Obviously, like I said, the team we're going to be talking to in the podcast episode coming out this week, topping in White Plains, And then we had Space Cowboy, Joker, and oh my goodness, I can't. And it was Soup. Yeah, I think it was Soup. We had another team end up topping in Duluth, which was also really, really cool. Which, like I said, we're going to be trying to go to Duluth. It's just the closest one for me and Joe. But a lot, like, people from our Discord were able to get in and top and actually do a lot of, like, just be able to play really awesome Weiss Schwarz and be able to top like that was just really, really cool to see. It's because it's people that I've gotten to know a bit better over the course of coming back and starting back up the podcast, starting back up the channel after the hiatus and everything. I was still trying to keep stuff, still trying to keep on top of stuff and talk about the other tournaments and stuff that were occurring when I started the videos back up again. But being able to meet new people and learn more from those players as well in our Discord. Being able to see them actually go, hey, this was my first regionals and I was able to top. And I'm like, that is actually amazing to me. Like, that is so cool. One of the biggest reasons that resonates with me is the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals that I went to. I was able to not so much get top 8 cut or anything of that nature, but I was able to place high enough to get a regionals invite, which doesn't feel like a lot nowadays, but to not regionals, but like a nationals invite. That's what I meant. And that was just so cool and such an awesome experience for me, especially for my first Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals ever, which had a ton of people at. So seeing other people do the same thing is something that resonates very well with me, and I love seeing that happen. It's just so cool. Lots of other people that we knew obviously did amazingly well over all of these different regionals, but like I said, the biggest thing being seeing the whole issue, all the issues and stuff with Bulgaria, where there was only the 9 players that showed up. It was the second place guy that we ended up talking to. So it was just crazy to see 14 different sets get just completely and totally banned from being able to be played at this location. And I do feel that I really, really hope, and as of right now, I do want to pull up a thing. Real quick. As of right now, I hope that Bushiroad does not book that country again. I hate to say that, and I'm sorry to the players that's the closest thing you can go to. Look, I have to go a couple states over to get to a regionals for me as well. I have to go all the way over to Georgia, and I'm in North Carolina, so I have to go all the way over to Georgia to get to the closest one for us. And then we're also going to be going to Tampa, which is 4 states over. Florida, the bottom half of Florida. So, but just want to say that real quick. But we are going to be taking a look. One quick thing here. This is what is the current schedule for 2024. And when we go to Europe, as of right now, there is nothing for Bulgaria. This may change in the future, so take this with a grain of salt. Even the France location's different, because the other one, like I said, it was in Mova, and if I mispronounced that, I'm sorry, but you have a different France location altogether. We even have some other locations that are there, to be scheduled type thing. But we do have, and I think they said Philadelphia was the first. I remember talking with Soup, and I think he said Philadelphia, this was a first time for them trying to get this together. So that's really cool. That's really awesome to see. I'm very glad for that. I also talking with Desmond, this Tampa one is one of the first ones for Florida, so that's really cool. To see them going to other locations like that is really good. So I'm really happy for that. But as you can see, I do not think, and I do not believe it is wise to have another regionals at any place like this. The moment Bushiroad talks to someone from whatever region that they want to host a tournament, no matter which card game it's for, whether it's for Vanguard, whether it's for Weiss or Shadowverse, if they go, hey, we want to be able to play these card games, and they like hand a list, and the person goes, all right, let me get back with you in like a week, comes back up to them with their own list and say, okay, cool, you can play those games, but they can't run these sets. And they give that big of a list again of 14 different sets, or even half of that, even like 7 or more sets. They just need to go, nope, sorry, we're not going to have this here anymore. Y'all have a blessed day, and go on. That's what needs to happen. That's just my opinion. But, and speaking with the judges, the other tournament organizers that are going on, that are over in the Europe side, I do respect them, and from what I have been told, that they are trying to do what they can to try to make Weiss better for those areas. It's just a lot of times Bushi doesn't listen, it feels like, which is very sad. But I do want to say I'm not trying to discredit the people who are actually going out of their way and trying to put in an effort and trying to actually like do something to help better the game, because I feel that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but because I do feel that is something that I try to focus on, trying to help get people into the game, try to get news out there of things that need to be discussed, need to be talked about. I do feel bad that it's something that I've never truly covered before in the past. And a lot of people, the issues with like how some of the stuff is organized over in Europe, in the UK and everything, apparently just a lot of people never knew about what all was going on with that. For anyone who wants to know what happened with the Bulgaria regionals and everything, more details for that, I did make a video on that. Please go watch that. And it is just very interesting, and it's eye-opening, but at the same time, I don't like the reactions that came from it. Not so much people saying, oh, this isn't something you should talk about. No. It's the mentality that people had of, basically they were saying, why did it take this for people to actually give a damn? That's not the mentality you should have. The mentality is you should be thankful that people are talking about it at all and trying to do something different. I do feel bad that I haven't really paid attention to it, but now I am trying to do something about it, and I'm trying to bring people's awareness to it and talk about it, and I'm basically being met with, well, kind of the took you fucking long enough kind of response. Like, I don't appreciate that. The only other thing that I do feel was kind of focused on more was where it was talked about that the prize support, because they couldn't give it out to give enough copies of the prize cards out to a team, they could only give it to one person, that the extra copies were destroyed. People focused more on that than the fact of we only had 3 teams show up to this, and it became a locals instead of a regionals. I think a lot of y'all focused on the wrong aspect of that. You shouldn't have focused on, hey, product got destroyed. Still kind of crazy, still something that needs to be talked about, but that was the main thing I saw people talking about in the comment section of that video. That was kind of wild, and I do feel that you missed the forest for the trees. I feel that you missed the point of, I did not make that video to be like, oh, look, this product got destroyed. I made that video to go, hey, look, nobody showed up to this. Bushi, take notes. It looks like they did, and we're not gonna, as of right now, nothing is scheduled for that area. But with the European, the Asia Oceania, and even in the North America tournaments coming up, I will be trying to keep an eye on that for which areas allow which sets and everything. Outside of the little bit of drama with that, I think this was a really awesome SpringFest. I think this was a really good one for the most part. Like I said, 1 or 2 areas we had a little bit of oopsies, but outside of that, I like a lot of the results, at least the ones that happened over here. Like I said, a lot of friends and a lot of members of the Discord were able to top, and I thought that was really, really cool. I'm going to be trying to go for that myself, or at least try to do as good as I can. And I really, really hope that I really hope that to be able to meet a lot of people at those two regionals and be able to try to kind of place faces to names. The only one that I've seen in person was Desmond so far, but that was because of years ago with Waifu Wars and everything. But I can't wait to meet a lot of people in person, be able to hang out with a lot of people. Also know Gothmom, seen her in person. But just to be able to meet these people is kind of the biggest thing for me. And I'm going to greatly enjoy getting to know them better and watch the Discord grow over time with hopefully more people also seeing these kinds of things, these kinds of events, and going, well, damn, I want to participate now. I want to bring more people in. So, and hopefully this does that. But with that, that's going to be it for me today. Thank y'all very much for watching. I realize this is getting a little bit lengthy of a video, especially for one of these. But we will be signing off. Please like and subscribe if you want. If not, hey, thanks for stopping by to check it out. And that is going to be it for us. I will see y'all in Duluth. But even before Duluth, I will be, obviously, for the Fall Fest, trying to go over the ones that occur and discuss, obviously, kind of before and after, obviously, for each of the, for as many of the regionals as I possibly can. Maybe vlog Duluth, don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're going to be signing off. Thank y'all very much for watching, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace out for now.